quality of the education should never be compromised in any way. And that made me at certain places fighting for these things, because I want very kind of fair justice when it comes to, you can say, or judging people. I don't judge on the whatever anybody says. Unless and until I work with the people or student or a person, I don't judge them.
Your research spans a fascinating range from working on DPP4 inhibitors for diabetes to filing a patent for an indole derivative targeting Alzheimer's disease. Balancing such diverse areas of pharmaceutical research must have been quite a journey. Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm Sunny Pancholi, and today we are honored to have a distinguished academician and researcher in the field of pharmaceutical chemistry with us. With a remarkable career spanning over 2 decades, she has made significant contributions to pharmaceutical research, innovation, and education. Currently serving as the professor and director of the Center for Teaching Support and Innovation at Jamia Hamdard, her work has shaped the future of pharmaceutical sciences and academic leadership. It's my pleasure to welcome Professor Dr. Mymoona Akhter to the podcast. Dr. Akhter, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So, Dr. Akhter, you have had an extraordinary journey that began with a bachelor's degree in pharmacy and led to your current role as professor and director at Jamia Hamdard. So from your early days as an ad hoc lecturer to becoming a leader in pharmaceutical chemistry and education, could you walk us through the key milestones and pivotal moments that shaped your career?
Yeah, it takes a lot of actually courage or patience and passion to move or to walk through this long journey. It's not easy because there is a lot of competition right now. And you will see all looking for the same thing, but the positions are very limited. So I did my M.Pharm in 1998, and there was a scope in Jamia Hamdard to join because they had started a new course, B.Pharm, which was self-financing, and they were looking for this, looking for faculty members for the course. So fortunately, we had completed our post-graduation, which happened to be the eligibility criteria for the job. And we were also having the basic qualification of qualifying GPAT, or nowadays called GPAT. It was called then GATE, Graduate Aptitude Test for Engineering. So we had qualified that, and facing the interviews and all, we were selected from almost 8 to 10 people were there. After that, because when you are in academics, you can't stay with your postgraduate because the field is so moving and the research goes so fast. You have to be with the pace, and we had to go for the postdoctoral positions and doctorate position. So I had to complete my doctorate degree. So I joined in Jamia Hamdard only and completed my Ph.D. So after that, we were regularized in 2006. And then it was if you have to go into academics, you have to have projects to carry out the research, because unless and until you have funds, you can't work really. In any case, being it experimental work or non-experimental work, without funds, you cannot really move ahead. So we had to apply for projects. The funding agencies are very tight and very much in scrutiny when they fund any kind of project. Fortunately, I got my first project in 2009, and after that, I had quite some luck, I would say, that I got a number of projects, almost 7 projects from different agencies. It was DST, DBT, ICMR, a lot of projects I worked with, and it got me a lot of good results, actually, and that gives you confidence to move ahead, like, yes, we can do it. And this made me take a lot of students to do the PhD work, also research work for them, and which is, of course, recognized by the university. They do acknowledge that faculty members who work good, because this is one of the criteria where other ranking agencies look in universities, that how the faculty work. So we here in pharmaceutical sciences, we have almost, I would say, every professor or other faculty member in here, they will have projects. So this is one of the part of our job, to have these projects and work under this. Then there were some changes in the education system, and the UGC had opted for NEP 2020, and this was also for our university. So we had to take a, like, can say, big change in the education system, the pattern that was going on in university. So they had to look for someone who will take some charge and get the things done, because universities have a lot of departments to take care of the control with respect to the quality. So there is you have to have IQAC cell, you have to have the academic deans and all to make these things work. So they had to take a step to create this center for teaching support and innovation, so as the NEP 20 could be implemented in the university. So I was fortunate enough to be the first director, and am still, because this is the young center in our university, to make these kind of changes and help faculties or help different schools, I would say, to implement NEP 2020, because we have almost 10 schools in our university, and all of different, you can say, different courses. We have pharmaceutical sciences, we have science, then there is Unani medicine, we have management science, engineering science, humanities, with a lot of schools there. So we had to work with each and every school, their deans, to get this NEP 2020 implemented in total, because it requires a lot of work, because the structure of the courses have been completely changed by this NEP 20. As per NEP 20, you have to work. A lot of other courses have to be included, and there has to have a inter-school teaching in this, like in first 3 semesters, all the schools have to have almost same kind of structure. And they have to have 3 core subjects, 3 interdisciplinary subjects. So when it comes to interdisciplinary, so you cannot hire the faculty members all of a sudden, because that will have some financial implications and that. So we had to manage, we had to coordinate between different schools, so that these kind of subjects would be interconnected, and the faculty from one school will teach the subject in the other faculty. So Alhamdulillah, that happened quite well, and everyone took it very well. And this time the university was ranked as A+ by NAC also. And in being pharmacy, we are always #1 in almost 6 times out of 8 in NIRF ranking. And I would say that is the work, or that is the collective work of all the faculty members. But yes, every bit, like, it adds up to the work. So that's how I am in Jamia Hamdard, and I love being actually in Jamia Hamdard. But you always, to grow, you always need to do things. You cannot grow at one place. So that is what I am into, like new kind of adventures. Apart from my, you can say, academics, I have all my life I have been in academics. So I want to have some different perspective of life. So I'm here.
Great, great. And we will also discuss that in depth. But before that, I would like to ask you, what inspired you to take the path you did, and how did those early experiences influence the educator and researcher you are today?
The family background and the, I can say, the values that have been inculcated, they are very strong in us, I would say. I never compromise with the quality, never. I have seen a lot of resistance from my department, but I believe you have to be very clear in certain things, and one of those is quality. And quality cannot be compromised. And when you are in education system, it becomes all the more important. So I was always there for the students, but I won't compromise with the kind of, like, I won't give numbers like that in paper, whether the student writes or not. So although I am a kind of bad examiner in that way, but ultimately when a student comes out of the program, they will realize, because when they face the actual reality, actual system, they realize, yes, these are the things we need to work on. We have to be there. then I had to work on certain things, that is with communication. The students are from different backgrounds, and I realized that we need to work with them, that you have to develop your personality, because unless and until you work on your personality, it becomes really difficult to make yourself accept in positions or in places, because the first impression you make makes difference, and rest becomes when you work, then only people will come to know you. But the first thing is that how you carry yourself, your body language, your attitude. So we had to we actually needed to work, because we had faced quite few problems with respect to that. So we realized that no, these are certain things we need to work on in addition to your academics. Like nowadays also, I believe that we one component that is very miserably missing in our education system is that we don't teach students finances. We teach finances to only finance students. How, which is to me, which is not very good. We should teach finances to each and every student, maybe from school level itself, which is this is a life-saving kind of thing for everyone. Everyone has to do finances in one or the other way, when it is working or is doing a house job or any kind of thing. So these things actually prompted us, and I would say the resistance from my seniors that no, this is right or not, and made me think over those things quite a lot, whether I am doing right. Because when you have seniors and they say, nahi, ye aap sahi nahi kar rahe ho, so it makes you feel, because being junior, because having less experience, it makes you feel or think twice before doing. But then I came to realize that no, certain things are there which have to be that way only, and one of those things is the quality. Quality of the education should never be compromised in any ways, and that made me at certain places fighting for these things, because I want very kind of fair justice when it comes to can say or judging people. I don't judge on the whatever anybody says. Unless and until I work with the people, a student or a person, I don't judge them. So it made me actually grow in my sense also. And one more thing is important, that keep on introspecting what I feel and what I'm doing, whether that is right or not. And having some kind of spiritual guidance, or I can say guidance from your guides, and that really helps you go through this kind of journey.
Great, great, great. Thank you for the excellent start to this podcast, Dr. Akhter. Your research spans a fascinating range from working on DPP4 inhibitors for diabetes to filing a patent for an indole derivative targeting Alzheimer's disease. Balancing such diverse areas of pharmaceutical research must have been quite a journey. So could you share how your passion for these different fields developed over the years, and how you have managed to stay focused and driven while exploring such varied and impactful research projects?
See, as I said, you have to be passionate about your work. Unless and until you're passionate, you won't be doing, you won't be able to deliver. You have to, I believe that when you carry out a project, you have to give your 100%. We had faced a problem during my PhD program about getting certain research papers. Like where I consulted certain research papers, because when you carry out your research, you consult first the literature. So when I looked into certain research papers, and I was looking for some particular support for my synthesis of a compound. So the compounds were reported, everything was done, procedures were reported, but when we replicated in our lab, they didn't work. It didn't work. So we realized that the literature, every literature is not correct. So we had to work. So we, and my guide, I would like to thank in that sense to my guide who had been my guide in during my PhD work, Professor M.S.Y. Khan. He was one of the person I would actually like to thank, and he had a lot of wisdom. So he used to say, you should rely on what you do. And he used to be very careful about minute things. And these things actually came into us, all his students, I would say. And we used to be very kind of itchy when he used to push, "Nahi, do this in this manner only, then only it will happen." So when I came into my research, I actually realized why he did in such particular manner, why he was teaching us or making us do things in a particular manner. That actually helped me realize during my research. So that made us believe that no, whenever you do work, it should be authentic. So when you do research, at least if you cannot do a favor, don't, I can say, mess with the literature. Don't misguide people, because that is I would say that is one of the big harm to the society right now. So yeah, a day before yesterday, we read a paper, article in Times of India, if I remember correctly, Publish or Perish. That was about some COVID vaccine paper. So if you are not thorough enough in your research, and you are actually publishing trash, and that is actually wasting a lot more money, lot more you can say efforts, human efforts, as well as the money. So that was our basic you can say moral that has come from our guide. So we do our research with passion, and we take it very seriously, that yes, whatever we do, it may be small, but we do it perfect, or to the utmost, at least to the perfection, because it is getting to the public domain where it can be used, right? So we did some projects, and we did it to the core, whatever extent we get. There are certain limitations in research over here, because in academia we don't get much fund. So we get limited in certain cases. Like we had a TB project, we again synthesized a number of compounds, and they were actually very good in activity, and they had good antitubercular activity. But you can say their development could not be taken up due to the funding issues. And TB being a very communicable disease, you have to have BSL-3 labs and all. So the infrastructure also becomes sometimes a restriction. But nevertheless, when we did this work, we were very passionate about this work, and we did get some compounds of good nature. Similarly, then we thought, no, because we are finding certain difficulties in getting these biological activities done, so we should do some we should work in some areas, because see, we are chemists basically, and we don't have issue in synthesizing molecules. We are very good at it. We get difficulty in analyzing those in terms of biological activity. So we thought, why not to go in an area where the basic kits are available, which can be used for testing. In TB, we don't find basic kits for testing. There is no biological kits for testing. In other cases, in other diseases, like you may see diabetes or Alzheimer's for that matter, there are enzyme kits available. So we thought it will be better to work in some area wherein we can find these kind of kits. And so one of my students joined me for Ph.D. So she was interested in diabetes and Alzheimer's. So I thought, why not go ahead with this? Because I don't believe in inhibiting students. I don't want. There are labs which is actually good in a way that you have a lab which is specifically for example, working on TB. That is good. But when it comes to academics, I don't want to restrict students by my thoughts, that you work on my thoughts only. So if you have your own thought and you can work on it, that is better, because you are actually moving out of from this lab in maybe another 3 to 4 years, then you'll be working on your own. And so you should develop that kind of aptitude during this period. PhD is like you can say highest degree in academics. So you should develop that kind of aptitude when you go out and you can work better. So so that is how we came to developing these DPP4 inhibitors and anti-Alzheimer agents. I'm happy to share that all of my students are well settled. Well settled. I have till now you can say guided almost 8 students. They are well set, and I'm really happy with that. One is with the ICMR Jabalpur. Another is a faculty again in Indore. One of my is it's called ADC CDCSO, Assistant Drug Controller. So like that way, because they have developed their confidence, they were good students, and you give them space, they will flourish. So my belief is that when you do research, don't restrict the things, because restricting means you are restricting their thinking also. Right? So that is how we came into this kind of different, we handle these different projects, because we always have students to carry out the projects. We are at the back end to guide them, provide them the basic facilities, making them, we can say, things available, making things available to them.
Great, great, great. Your ability to explore different areas so deeply is truly inspiring, Dr. Akhter. So you have held the important role of Deputy Provost for Girls at Jamia Hamdard, which must have come with its own unique challenges and rewards. So could you share some of the most significant experiences or obstacles you have faced in this role and how they helped shape your approach to leadership and administration over the years? Also, what key lessons from that experience have influenced your broader career journey?
Yes, it was a very short span, I would say less than a year, when I was a deputy provost in there. And the important thing was that it was during COVID period. And we had a lot of restrictions. Everywhere were a lot of restrictions. We could not allow students to come direct to the hostel. They had to follow certain protocols and all. And once it happened, I being from Kashmir, so I get a lot of comments about that also. So once a few girls approached, and it was around maybe evening. It was evening time, about dawn. So they came and they said that we are from Kashmir. We are students from here, and we are from Kashmir, and we have nowhere to go. So please allow us to hostel. But we had advisory from the university that nobody should be allowed before informing us. Like, they should have informed us 3 to 4 days prior that they'll be coming, and kind of thing. So they were all of a sudden on the gate. So I I didn't give the permission to them. But I have a higher authority, provost. I was deputy provost and provost. The provost happened to be a male at that time. And I communicated to the provost that, yes, this is happening, and there's a few girls have came up. So he said, दे दो बच्चियों को, दूर से आई हैं, कहाँ जाएंगी. This was literally the like kind of very empathetic kind of statement. So I thought, when provost is saying, I should be allowing them, right? So I called up the warden, said that the sir has allowed and you may allow them. The next time, few more girls came after a week or 10 days, few more girls came. And they happened to be Kashmiris again, right? And I called up the provost. See, don't do this. They'll say you are Kashmiri and you are favoring Kashmiris. And I couldn't answer this thing, because last time you had already allowed. I didn't say that they are Kashmiris and please allow them, and that. That made me realize you have to get everything on paper. Don't make things verbal. You have to get everything. When you are in an administrative position, when you are in a position, you have to make certain decisions. It should be thorough and it should be made on paper. Don't ever do anything on a verbal communication. Make it a record. So that was one of the big lessoning to me in that case. Later on, I did realize about that that now I have to be very much careful about the you can say about this in being having all in written form or through mail at least. So after almost 6 months, another student, she was from Iraq, if I remember correctly. She was from Iraq. She came, being foreigner, she was doing Ph.D. She was staying outside the campus because she was not allowed to stay in a hostel during that period. And she didn't had actually hostel, so she was not allowed to hostel. So she was staying outside. She got COVID. She got COVID, and she had to stay for. She had to be hospitalized for quite some time. And then she approached. She being in from pharmacist, so she had quite. She was quite approachable. So she approached me and said that I see I am in a very difficult position, and I want hostel. So I asked her to write a mail and do whatever necessary formalities. I communicated to the provost, he communicated to the registrar, and registrar denied. But this provost said me, okay, go ahead, and but he didn't give me again in writing. See again the fault at the same line. So he said, okay, it's like humanitarian grounds. She's a foreigner. We can't make her stay outside when she is not in good health also. So let's give her. So this was the communication, and I had mailed everything else. So he said that I'll be communicating to the registrar. So most likely it should get done. But I'll say my fault was that I didn't wait for the reply, and he never sent me the reply. I would say, because registrar had denied him the permission. But that mail was not sent to me. I gave her the hostel. Later on, it was a big issue. And in that case, I was again issued a notice also that I have overstepped my, you can say, powers. So this made me realize a lot of things in terms of administrative powers, that not to rely on seniors blindly. You have to be very particular in getting things done on paper before you move. That was a very important lesson in that case. Secondly, student handling is a very tricky job. It's a very tricky job. And one amendment that I did, in fact, in that, which was much required, because there was not a system in our place that the students use when they complete a year, or they are at the end of their program, they have to get clearance from all the departments. And it was very weird that non-hostelers also had to get clearance from the hostel. And I don't know the previous provost, how they made it an arrangement that they used to send to them any of the warden, because we have almost 4 girls hostels. So they would ask any of the warden to sign the non-hostlers form that yes, there is no dues against them because they are non-hostlers. So that was a kind of thing that was happening, which I changed. That yes, see, warden is not knowing whether she is in, she knows only her students, whoever is staying in the hostel. She knows. How can she sign for anybody who is not a hostler? So I made that thing change, that that this should come directly to the provost office. This shouldn't go to the warden for anything. So there were few things more, few things more, like the I-card kind of things. We tried to work on it. Then I had a change of my term. My term was still that. So, but that was quite a lesson.
Absolutely, Dr. Akhter. It's fascinating to hear how you navigated such challenges and how those experiences shaped your leadership approach. Let's discuss corporate governance and its impact on your professional landscape. So, with your extensive experience in academic leadership, particularly as director of the Center for Teaching Support and Innovation, how do you see the principle of corporate governance influencing the way universities are managed? Also, what governance practices do you believe are essential in maintaining transparency and accountability in an academic institution?
Communication is the one key skill which should be there. And when it comes to corporate governance, there is nothing like corporate governance in universities. It is a pure hierarchical system in universities. We have a chancellor, we have a vice chancellor, registrar, and then we have academic councils, we have standing committees, we have board BOMs, you could say, board of BOE, I don't remember the name, BOM, they call it Board of Management, right? Board of Management. So if you are to have anything to discuss or anything to come with, you have to have a school board. So school board discuss whatever it needs, or it can be any terms, like it can be the financial needs, it can be the infrastructure needs, it may be the change in the syllabi, it may be the requirement of faculty members, anything it can be. It may be any issue related to the students. It is first discussed in the board of school board, you can say, and then whatever minutes are, they go to the standing committee. The standing committee approves it. Then it goes to the academic council. Then it gets approval, and then it is actually finalized. We don't have this kind of typical corporate governance. This doesn't happen in universities. Like this is a kind of public-private partnership. Our university, it's a government-funded kind of private university. But it doesn't happen even in any kind of university. Purely public, purely governance or corporate governance doesn't happen. And it may be in hospitals or something like, but not in universities. We don't see. Universities have to follow certain rules that come, not certain, I would say, in fact, all the rules that come from the UGC, particularly when they are funded by the government. They have to follow in toto these rules. There are a small margin of maybe 10 to 20% wherein you can deviate, you cannot opt for, you cannot add anything else beyond that. So it is purely a hierarchical system and nothing much in case of your governance. Like we are funded, part of us is funded by the Hamdard laboratories. There must be having the corporate governance, but that doesn't really affect the university part. Doesn't have any impact on them. They are just the, you can say, financiers. They are the supporters.
Got your point. So, as a leader in pharmaceutical education and research, you have already made a significant impact through your academic work and innovation. So, looking ahead, what future goals or aspirations do you have, both in advancing your research and in broader leadership roles? Also, do you see yourself bringing your expertise into the boardroom, where your insights in pharmaceutical innovation and governance could shape decisions at the highest level?
Yeah, see, I am at a position right now, there is not much in terms of, you can say, growth in terms of professional growth. I'm at the highest position, like you say, professor. The growth will be now lateral growth, like I can say, horizontal growth will be there. And that horizontal growth means that you can be a dean, you can be a director of some other thing. But again, that would give me only some experience with respect to the academics only. I want to explore in an area which I have never been to. I have a bit of adventurous nature. So I do things, I would say maybe because of, sometimes because of ignorance, and it becomes ignorance is bliss sometimes. So I believe in that completely. So I want to go and venture in some kind of thing which I have never been into, like in this way, what you mentioned right before this question at corporate governance, because we don't see corporate governance. And when although after attending few sessions of this program, I really got a feel that there is a lot of work outside this huge world, and we are I'm nowhere to that. So I just want to grow in that, because I have some kind of experience in pharmacy, and I actually want to take that to the boardroom, because companies are completely a different mindset than the academia. And unless and until academia and companies work together, there won't be much growth in pharmacy, because basic research is a thing which companies have dumped right now. The big giants like Pfizer and all, they don't do basic research anymore. They simply acquire small companies and do whatever they can do. So to support basic research, the boardrooms should have people which have that kind of background, which have that kind of sensitivity that what is actually in academia that needs to be supported, or that when supported will make industry grow as well. That's a very important aspect in that. And there is like government has already taken care of certain things by using that CSR funds, but it really doesn't come to the academia. I didn't see it coming to the academia, or I would say that is my experience. I didn't see it coming to the academia. It goes to NGOs. I don't know the reason, but not to the academia. And there are not very clear paths that how academia and industry collaborate in CSR projects. They are not very good. Maybe 2 years back, I attended a program that was there is a society, or say there's a society that was developed, deep sea kind of society, and it was with the DST, Department of Science and Technology. They have developed we can say society which will take care of the CSR funds and will invite it. But again, I didn't see anything, because I tried to make a MOU with that, and it is almost 2 years they didn't get the MOU done. So there are a lot of difficulties in that, which I actually want to see what it that is not happening, or that is actually hindering these kind of things. Because CSR is that what every industry has to do, right? If industry has certain turnover, it has to do CSR, it has to go for CSR projects. So, but why it is not happening on ground, I couldn't find out. So this is one of the thing I would really would look into if I get into some boardroom, that how it works and how I could actually make make academia get benefit out from it, that kind of. So that is one thing that I would like to can say is one of my ambition right now, because getting away from I being a professor in at my university, I'm not able to do much in that sense. Connecting to industries, you try to connect to industries, and this it's a kind of mutual thing, mutual benefits. Industry always sees mutual benefit. We have certain MOUs with the industry. We have an MOU with Sun Pharma, but that is again limited to the PhD program only, right? We had with Hillman Labs, but it was there, and again it was a bit of academic program only. That is okay, academic program, but I want to have more of it, because there is scope, there are chances that we can have more of it, we can grow more together. That is what my opinion or my thinking is that.
Rightly said, Dr. Akhter, and I'm sure that your experience would certainly be an asset in shaping high-level boardroom decisions. Okay, so as we wrap up this insightful conversation, I would love to hear your thoughts on your experience with Directors Institute. So how has been a part of the Institute contributed to your growth and leadership journey? And what do you feel are the most valuable takeaways for professionals looking to step into governance role?
I have attended few sessions of the Directors Institute on the Saturdays, and it has really given me insight about how corporate works, how minute things make bigger difference, right? And the sir actually explains things so brilliantly that you don't have any doubt about them. And one thing that from these video sessions, I got the confidence. Yes, and I had been doing things quite in a right direction. Like I said, I learned the way that you have to be very meticulous about your documentation. So he is very particular about this. The documentation is very important when you are at any position. It's very, very important. And secondly, then when it's very important to show your dissent, right? And when you show your dissent, it should be recorded. You have to have it. So I had to fight certain fights at my place about being you can say given due credit about certain things, and there are seniors who actually don't agree to what juniors say at times and go to any length make you do things, and I had to face number of issues like that. So these things made me realize, so you have to be tough, and you have to be very positive at the same time. Those things should not make you make you negative or let down. And this director institute actually helping me understand that how corporate, how boardroom is going to work, and how one as an independent director should be doing in a boardroom. That's really I can say an eye opener and a big lesson for me, because I have never been to a boardroom, I'd say. And here in this is an academic institution, we just have meetings, and we don't mind people agreeing or disagreeing kind of thing. Here, what makes it more important is that if I am able to convince VC that this is right, he will sign it, it gets done. Right. So it is not much of that, because financial implications are not to that level. It's not up to that extent. So this is actually a beautiful journey, and I hope I go through it in a, I can say, flowery manner. I'll I am actually hoping so, because it's completely a different cup of tea for me. I have never been into management, never, like not even studied a book about management, I would say. We had though pharmaceutical management in our course. It was just to the course only, nothing much beyond that. So I hope I'll do best in this. It's a comparative like world. People do like it's a kind of you can be best in one thing, I can be best in other thing. So let me hope I can do best in my part, and I could deliver. Most important thing is deliver, and when you go to the bed, and you should be happy that yes, I have delivered. I have not done any kind of injustice. That is more important, whether I have gained anything or not.
Absolutely rightly said, Dr. Akhter, and thank you for such an inspiring and insightful conversation today. Your dedication to pharmaceutical research and education, combined with your leadership in academic innovation, has been truly enlightening for all our viewers today. And I'm sure that your experiences and wisdom will resonate with many, especially those aspiring to make their mark in the pharmaceutical sciences. So thank you once again for your time, and we at Directors Institute wish you continued success in all your endeavors.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise. And we look forward to sharing more stories and insights from incredible leaders like Dr. Akhter in our next session. Until then, keep learning, growing, and finding inspiration in your journey. Thank you so much, and have a nice time.